everyone, I'm Ellie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to explore another meaningful and inspiring Chinese idiom, 半途而废. Have you ever started learning something, like a new language, a musical instrument, or even a workout routine, and then stopped halfway because it felt too hard or you lost motivation? Well, that's exactly what 半途而废 means. This idiom describes a person who starts doing something with great enthusiasm, but then gives up halfway when things get difficult. It's often used to remind us that persistence is the key to success. If we want to improve or achieve something meaningful, we have to keep going, even when it's not easy. There is actually an old Chinese story behind this idiom. It's about a man who had big dreams. He wanted to learn many different skills, but he kept changing what he wanted to do and never stuck to anything long enough to master it. So today, let's listen to the story together and discover what 半途而废 can teach us about patience, determination, and finishing what we start. Once upon a time, there was a man who dreamed of becoming a great artist. He wanted to learn how to make jade ornaments, beautiful, delicate decorations carved from precious stone. He traveled far to find a famous jade craftsman, one who was known for creating the most elegant and detailed pieces of jade in the entire region. When he finally met the master, he bowed deeply and said, "Please, sir, take me as your student. I'm willing to work hard and learn everything from you." The craftsman looked at him carefully and saw that the man seemed sincere. So he nodded and said, "All right, I'll teach you. But remember, learning this craft takes patience and persistence." The young man agreed eagerly. From that day on, he started his training. The master taught him step by step how to polish the rough surface until it shone like glass, how to carve fine lines with steady hands, and how to use every tool properly and safely. At first, the man was very excited. He practiced every single day, full of energy and confidence. He thought, "I'm going to become a master craftsman in no time." But after a few months, things started to change. He realized that the work was much harder than he had imagined. The polishing took endless hours. The carving required so much focus that his hands ached and his eyes grew tired. No matter how hard he tried, the jade pieces he made still looked rough and clumsy. Slowly, his excitement disappeared. He began to feel frustrated and bored. Every day he sighed louder and louder. Finally, he threw down his tools and said, "This is too hard. I'll never be good at this." And just like that, he gave up and went home, telling himself he'd find something easier to do. A few weeks later, he decided to try something completely different, music. He thought maybe being a musician will be more fun. So he bought an instrument and practiced for a while. But again, after a short time, he got impatient. When he couldn't play as beautifully as he imagined, he quit. Then he moved on to painting. At first, he felt inspired and full of ideas. But when his paintings didn't turn out the way he wanted, he gave up halfway. After that, he tried studying medicine, thinking it might be more useful. But once again, he lost motivation and didn't finish. Year after year, he kept starting something new, but never finishing anything. Every time things became difficult, he told himself, "Maybe this just isn't for me," and walked away. Eventually, he grew old. One day, he sat quietly by the window and thought about his life. He realized something painful. He had spent his entire life starting many things, but completing none. Because he always gave up halfway, he had never become truly skilled at anything. That's how the idiom 半途而废 came to describe people who quit halfway through, those who lose motivation before reaching their goal. What lesson can we take away from this story? In this story, the man kept switching from one thing to another, jade carving, music, painting, medicine, but never stuck with any of them. Every time he faced difficulty, he gave up. That's exactly the meaning of 半途而废. It describes someone who starts something with good intentions, but quits before finishing it. Someone who loses motivation when things get hard. 半途 means halfway, literally halfway along the road or halfway through a journey. 而废 means to stop or to abandon, so together, 半途而废 literally means to give up halfway through. In English, you can think of it as to give up halfway or to quit before finishing. This idiom is often used to describe people who lack persistence or who give up easily. It's slightly negative, but also carries a lesson, a gentle reminder not to give up too soon. Because in life, no matter what we are learning or working toward, whether it's studying Chinese, building a new skill, or following a dream, there will always be moments when things feel hard. But if we stop halfway, we'll never see how far we could have gone. Just like the man in the story, if we keep starting new things but never finish them, we'll never master anything. But if we keep going, step by step, even when it's tough, that's how real progress happens. So this idiom teaches us the importance of perseverance, the ability to continue even when the path gets rough. If we want to succeed, we must stay patient and keep moving forward until the very end. Alright, let's look at the example to understand how we can actually use this idiom in daily life. 他学中文学了3个月就不学了，真是半途而废。He studied Chinese for 3 months and then stopped. That's really giving up halfway. The first part, 他学中文 means he studied Chinese. 学 is to study or to learn, and 中文 means Chinese language. Then we have 学了3个月. That's studied for 3 months. Next, there is the key part that changes the meaning. 就不学了. And then he stopped studying. The word 就 here gives the meaning of already or so soon, which shows that he quit earlier than expected. It carries that slight tone of disappointment, like, oh, he already stopped after just 3 months. Finally, we can see 真是半途而废. That's really giving up halfway. 真是 means really or indeed. So this phrase emphasizes that the person didn't finish what he started. Here, the whole sentence paints a clear picture. He started studying Chinese, but after 3 months, he lost motivation and quit. That's the perfect example of someone who 真是半途而废, gave up halfway instead of continuing. So this idiom is often used when someone starts something enthusiastically but quits too soon, like studying, exercising, or practicing a skill. You'll often hear native speakers use this idiom when they want to express a sense of regret or disappointment about someone who didn't finish what they started. It's not too harsh, it's more like a gentle reminder saying, you shouldn't quit so easily. Keep going until the end. You can use this idiom for many similar situations in daily life. For example, learning a new skill, trying to keep a diet, or starting a hobby but losing interest too soon. For instance, if your friend started going to the gym but stopped after 2 weeks, you could say, 你怎么又半途而废了? Why did you give up halfway again? Or if your classmate says, I feel tired, maybe I should stop learning, you can say, 别半途而废. Don't give up halfway. And that's the story and the meaning behind today's idiom, 半途而废, to give up halfway. It's such a powerful reminder that no matter what we are learning or working toward, success doesn't happen overnight. Whether it's learning Chinese, exercising, or building any new skill, the most important thing is to keep going, step by step, day by day. So, don't be 半途而废. Keep going until you reach your goal. If you enjoyed this story and learned something new today, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. 再见.